What is poppin', y'all? Welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we're taking a look at another series review. This is actually a series review. We did take a look at the 2012 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series on Nickelodeon, but we only took a look at Raphael and the Mutant Apocalypse. Now I'm going to run through all 4 out of 5 seasons that I have watched whilst I'm watching Season 5, because I've recently rewatched the first 4 seasons to give you this review. I'm not going to go in depth with every episode, as there is 26 episodes in the first season, all at around 15 to 20 minutes each, and I'm just going to go over the basic storyline of the first season, because it is a really good series, and I do hope you watch it, and it is what really got me back into the Turtles after the 2003 one, because we had a really big gap between the Turtles. We had the 2003 iteration, the 2007 one, and then it was like 5 years till we got another iteration of the Turtles. So, after getting exposed to a mutant substance, 4 turtles became giants and start speaking and walking upright. They are trained by a wise rat Splinter in order to defeat an evil man, Shredder. So, that is basically the overarching series of events that happens in the first one. But how this actually starts is the turtles are on their 18th birthday, and they're eating this mutant, sewer slop for their birthday meal, which Mikey cooks up, and that's pretty much how it starts. They then decide to go against Master Splinter and go up to the surface. They run into April, and basically run into her father as well, who gets kidnapped by the Krang, because he is a scientist that works for TCRI, and they help April infiltrate this Krang place and try and save April's dad. And that's the whole overarching theme of this season. However, there is a couple of other underlying stories for this season, with scientists turning themselves into monkeys and causing trouble, with someone who sees the turtles and tries to sort of be like the turtles, to Raph having to find and fight his temper with these massive spider people, and we have loads of other characters here, with Shredder coming in and him hiring goons, which he then mutates with Baxter Stockman and works with Baxter Stockman and creates Dog Pound and Fish Legs, which is technically this sort of version of Bebop and Rocksteady until they do be introduced later. But all these characters are introduced slowly, they're introduced gradually, and I really like that because it sets up for future seasons. It sets up the future of the Turtles with slowly uncovering the Krang mystery, and they really dive into the Krang this season. They really focus on the Krang and Shredder as the 2 main bad guys and set them up for 2 different things. So they're constantly fighting people from all over. They're constantly up against threats, whether it be a random one-off villain like the Squirrels, or the Monkey, or Leatherhead, or anyone like that, or if they're up against Karai and the Foot Clan and Shredder, or these robot guys, which obviously can't be defeated with a stick. And that's where Donatello's character development comes from in the first season. They all get their own sort of breakthroughs, they all get their own character development, from being introduced to this new human world, to having to learn to fight in this new human world. Raph having to control his temper, Donnie learning to fight without thinking, fight without being over-analytic, and learn to use his staff and not try and overcomplicate fighting with creating this metal stick which can have a taser, has chainsaws coming out of it and stuff like that. Him just going back to basics and being the smart one. Donatello's voice actor here is also really cool, as he did play Raphael in the original 1990s TV show, so he did come back to play 2 of the Turtles, and I think that is really cool. I don't know why, it's just a really cool thing that he comes back to play another one of the Turtles. And Donatello has always been my second favorite Turtle, until Mutant Mayhem. He dropped down to 3rd, I'm going to be honest. Leo has stayed at last place throughout the entirety of my Turtle ranking. Raph has always been 3rd, except in Mutant Mayhem, where he hopped up to 2nd, and Mikey sits at a solid 1st throughout everything. So Leo and Mikey have been my 2 favorite constants throughout this, with Leo being last and Mikey being 1st. I feel like Leo is just too much of a goody two-shoes, too much of a leader, and that's his role. That is what he does, but I just don't like him for that. I don't like his personality, and I'm sorry. He's too much of a leader. He's too much a stickler for the rules, and I'm not about that. There is a lot of comedy here, and a lot of the comedy does hit. It does slap. I do find myself laughing and giggling along. Michelangelo has another great voice actor here, with it being Greg Snipes, which also voiced Beast Boy in the Teen Titans, and he does a load of other stuff as well. Like Kevin 11 from Ben 10. He's a very good cartoon voice actor, but this seems to be the first iteration of 3D, 2D, like hyper fusion animation, with there being so much 2D stuff added onto this 3D thing, with their eyes getting like fire emojis on them, with their getting like crying stuff, with them having swirly eyes and like little forehead anger things which normally come with anime. It just feels very 3D, 2D, and very base form what the Spider-Verse is, and I just love that with how much the 2D and 3D sort of combine here. They don't overdo it, but they don't underdo it. They sort of work into it and have this very new art style, which is very new for the time, with a combination of 3D animation with 2D elements. And the character designs for these turtles, again, this is where it starts to evolve, and they start to be more different instead of copy and pasted turtles. With the 2007 movie, with the 1990 movie, with the 1990 series, and the 2003 series, all the turtles are all copy and pasted with different bandanas and weapons. That is it. They're all identical with just different weapons and bandanas. Until now, they have different head shapes, different heights, different character designs with the belts and the sort of other details to them, with their eye color as well, with Leo having blue and Mikey having blue, Donnie having brown, and Raph having green. So there is a lot of character design and character change here, which it all sprouts from this point on, because that influences the movie, with the turtles having a lot more character with them, with Raph having his full head bandana, and Donnie having glasses and his tech backpack, which then goes forward into Mutant Mayhem and Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Again, their eyes going white was a really cool feature, which showed them locking in, and it was a very simple design change, which works well in future seasons, and it just shows them getting more intense, getting more battle ready, and it's just so cool with how much sort of design goes into these characters, and the story builds on the turtle characters so well and sets up future seasons so well, but also keeping you invested. It's not like, I'm going to compare it to Dune, where Dune 1 literally just sets up the other couple of movies. Not much really happens in the first one. It is just there to set up future movies. And I feel like if you go with that strategy, where not a lot happens, you're just focusing on setting up future, you won't keep a lot of viewers interested. You won't keep a lot of people interested in your show, in your movie. And this did it so well with introducing the Krang and Shredder at the same time, and having them slowly uncover more about Dimension X, uncover more about the robots, uncover more about the mutagen, and how they're affecting everybody. But it's not just the turtles that are learning about it, it's Shredder. Shredder is learning about the mutagen as well, and trying to mutanize other characters to create other mutants to work in his army, i.e. Tiger Claw, who gets introduced in the later season, but is one of my absolute favorites. We have loads of other characters being introduced, and they're all so cool, and I feel like there's a lot more unique characters in this version of the Turtles than there has ever been. Obviously, we have all the old originals coming back, like Newt, like Mondo Gecko, sorry, I don't know why I said Newt, but we also have Muckman, but we also have, like, monkeys, like big brain monkeys, I forgot his name, and so many others as well, like this plant dude, the spider guy. There's just so many interesting villains, which they all explore so well, and they all have like dedicated episodes, maybe like double episodes. But this season also started with the trend that all the last two episodes were a two-parter. Every season of the Turtles has a two-part ending, and they all feel like they build up to it. the season is building up to this 2-part special at the end where the Turtles have to go up against a big threat, and there is a feeling of threat as well. We have the Turtles learning how the world works after being in the sewer for so long, learning how to actually apply their ninja skills to the world, and I feel like doing it through a series is a lot more effective than doing it through a movie, as you have a lot more time and a lot more, obviously, episode runtime to show how these characters are evolving, to go into each one individually and how they develop, and how they work and how they think, and how they all work together. Again, with Mikey going off on his own, feeling like he's a loser, having his brothers not rely on him or not want him around, and having to go off on his own, and then having the A team and the B team, that's really where they push for that, with A team being Leo and Raph, and how these developers of the show know how most of the focus of the movies have been on Leo and Raph, and the B team has more or less been Donnie and Mikey as the supporting characters. I really like how they focused in on that and sort of made the B team sort of have their own special episodes and put them more in the forefront so they all equally share screen time. But other than that, I love this show, and it does deserve a 10 out of 10. I think I've watched this season 3 times, and I'm so excited to share the rest of this season with you, and the next 4 as well. So please go and watch it. It does deserve the support. I love the Turtles, and I know you guys too, because you always love it when I do Turtles videos. So other than that, I hope you all enjoyed. See you all next one. Have a nice day, and goodbye. Stay home and stay safe.